Agents, let's talk about real estate. So, one of the things I find quite funny is that how many real estate agents are out there and they don't own their own homes. So, I'm going to talk to you about how I tell my agents what they should do, how they should buy, what agents should buy, which agents should wait. We're going to talk about the whole process. So, agents, if you're listening, please be listening. If you're listening to my podcast, just make sure that you do these easy steps to get your first place if you are an agent in the marketplace. So I always tell my agents, step one, work for the company for 2 years. So their path is just to sell as many houses as they possibly can, get those tax returns back for 2 years. You can obviously buy before then, but you're going to get the best rates if you have 2 years of job history with 2 years of tax returns, and then you can go in and buy a place. I always suggest using an FHA loan, 3.5% down. If you're in the military, obviously you can use your VA loan, 0% down. And please don't buy a single family residence or a condo for your first property. The reason being, it's all about leverage. Now in San Diego County, if you're not VA and maybe you have to use that VA loan, or I'm sorry, that FHA loan for your first property purchase, you can utilize an FHA on a triplex or a fourplex. But in the county of San Diego, it does not pencil. There's a debt service ratio. It doesn't work out. It would be nearly impossible to find a property because of the way the rents have to cover your mortgage, etc. So the only thing you can use an FHA for when it comes down to actually working is a single family residence, a condo that's FHA approved, obviously, and then also a duplex. So of the three options for an FHA buyer, a duplex is your best for an investment. You're going to live in one side and rent out the other. Now, in the city of San Diego and in the county of San Diego, different cities have different rules for short-term rentals. So take a look at what each city says for you. But I would say your short-term rental rule in the city of San Diego, if you live at the property, it is very easy to get a permit. So you're going to have a permit for that other side and you're going to rent it out on Airbnb and you're going to live in the other side because you do have to be owner occupied with an FHA loan. Your short-term rental should cash flow or at bare minimum, break even to what your mortgage is. So you're going to live for essentially free. So I'm telling you right now, with only 3.5% down, you don't really have closing costs because you can use your commissions towards your closing cost. And then you're going to then have a cash flowing income property that you live in one side and all you have to do is 3.5% down. That is going to be your first property as a real estate agent after year 2. Now, the problem is most people just want that quick get rich kind of thing. It doesn't work that way with real estate. You don't wait to buy real estate. You buy real estate and wait. So buy that property. You're going to live in it for at least a year, hopefully fix it up. Now, with an FHA loan, you can buy a fixer. Some people have that mistaken. There are some requirements, heating, you have to have a stove, can't have a ton of termite damage, but you can buy a fixer that needs work. The first property I bought in San Diego County was a fixer, and I did purchase with FHA, and you're right, it was a duplex. It was a total fixer. I was actually surprised that it got approved by the appraiser. What we did was we lived in it, fixed it up while we lived there, fixed up the other side first, turned that into a short-term rental. That rent covered my entire mortgage. Then I fixed up the unit I lived in. Then I turned both of the units into short-term rentals because at the time they didn't have a rule about how many we could have for short-term rentals. And then I moved out to another property down the street. So I had a cash flowing property that was generating over $10,000 in gross income per month. And my mortgage was only $2,500 a month. So that is $7,500 in my pocket for a property that I only had to put down 17 grand to start. It's a pretty awesome way to go about it. And it's truly the only way you want to do it. Why I say you want to do a duplex before you go and maybe buy a condo and then buy an investment property. Now, if you go and do the other route, you say you go out and buy that condo, maybe it's your dream place. Maybe you put maybe FHA, maybe you have to do a conventional loan. You do 10% down. Now you can do conventional if you're owner occupying 10% down. You can even do 5% down. But if you're not owner occupying and you want to do an investment property, most lenders are going to require 20, 25% down and your interest rate is going to change. So if you buy that first property with 10% or 5% down and it's a condo, and then you decide, you know what, I'm also going to buy an investment property in addition to this, you're going to have to put down more money for that investment property and your interest rate's going to be more. So the capability of buying something is less because you're going to have more down payment money. Whereas if you go the first route where you buy the duplex, you only have to have that 3.5% down. And then the next property, you only have to have 5% down. The way with the condo, then the duplex, you could do 3.5 FHA, and then you may have to do 20 to 25% for that investment. So this essentially is a legal way to hack investments. Always, always, always buy your first property being a multi-unit, and then use the stepping stones to get closer to your dream house. Cool thing about this, I used that 3.5% down home to basically fund my mortgage on a $1.85 million purchase. That duplex makes enough money to pay the mortgage for the duplex and pay the mortgage for my house. That is real estate, my friends. Everything you own should be cash flowing and actually be able to use that towards more real estate. You do this over and over again. If you have 10 to 15 properties, which by the means is a lot, but if you're in the industry, you should be coming across deals and trying to acquire one property per year. It all starts with doing it right from the very beginning. So buy that duplex, then go buy another one, hopefully. Buy some more, then you 1031, and you're essentially playing real life Monopoly. And sure enough, by the end of it, you're going to have 10 to 15 units all paid for, sitting back collecting rents that'll outperform any 401k or any stock that you ever purchased. So I know that we have to do this because it is our only way of having benefits as real estate agents. Yes, you can acquire healthcare and all that stuff, but you're not going to have a brokerage match your benefits for you or pay for your healthcare typically. So this is a way to make it work, and this is a way to make sure that your family's taken care of. Hopefully you learned something, and hit me up if you have any other suggestions for investing.